Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So in the last video we have had the discussion on what are the rational numbers and what are the irrational numbers. Now we are going to learn how to locate root 2, which is an irrational number, on the number line, because we know that previously we have had the topic, we have had the discussion on the irrational numbers or rational numbers. Both of these numbers were together or combinedly they are known as real numbers. So we know that real numbers can be represented everywhere or anywhere on a number line. That means आम को भी रियल नंबर्स को यूनिकली गोटे पोजिशन या गोटे पॉइंट दे पार गोटे नंबर लाइन उपर. नाउ सो से जिनस देखा, सिंस रूट 2 इज एन इरेशनल नंबर एंड वी नो दैट को भी नंबर को गोटे नंबर लाइन उपर रिप्रेजेंट करी हबो. सो रूट 2 को आम नंबर लाइन रे रिप्रेजेंट करी देखा, राइट. केमती करवा, एंड आम पूर्वरु बिफोर दिस क्लास और इवन इन क्लास 7 and 8 आम नंबर लाइन रे अलग अलग रेशनल नंबर्स रिप्रेजेंट करवा सीखीचे. So now we shall have the representation of an irrational number on the number line like root 2, right? Let's have it. So in order to represent the root 2 on the number line, we have to understand something. Before this class, or in back in class 7, we have had the learning, we have had the idea to learn, we have had the idea of the right angle triangle, which is basically the Pythagoras theorem I am talking about. Pythagoras theorem विषय में कहूँ. Pythagoras theorem रे आम कमती करते कि Pythagoras, a great Greek mathematician, हमको गोटे theorem provide करते कि in any right triangle, को भी गोटे right triangle रे, so basically he says, or he concluded, he said that he gave us the theorem that if this is the base and this is the perpendicular and this side is the hypotenuse, he said us that the hypotenuse square is equal the square of perpendicular and the square plus the square of base. So this was indeed the Pythagoras theorem, and from this we know that the length only h will be root over or square root or under root p square plus b square. That means hypotenuse will be equal to the square root of the square of p and square of b, right, whenever they are added, right. So this is about the Pythagoras theorem. Now let's understand, if in any right triangle, को भी गोटे right triangle रे, if I draw it here and if I take the base as only one unit, right, and the perpendicular as one unit, right, then what will be the length of the hypotenuse? As it says that the length of hypotenuse is equal to the square of p plus square of b under root, right, or square root. Now we shall be having the length of this hypotenuse, which is equal to 1 square, because the base is 1 and 1 unit and the perpendicular is also 1 unit. So 1 square plus 1 square square root, which is basically 1 plus 1 square root. This is square root 2, or this is root 2. So we got to know that the hypotenuse is root 2 unit. Easy peasy. That means we got to know that what is basically how much is the length, or what is the length of root 2 in any right triangle. So based on this fact, based on this theorem, a theorem ऊपर base करेंगे हमें भी root 2 को number line ऊपर represent करिए. So let's have it. So this is the number line that as we know. Number line रे एबे कौन करिए ना represent करिए. Assume करा कि this is 0, this is 1 unit, and assume that you would be marking this in your scale, using your scale. एबे scale रे represent करिए जितनी की length है, so units सब same ना हो. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. अरे requirement इतने नहीं, but सेमती कर दो. Now the fact is कि हमें इम्ती गोटे right triangle draw करिए जार की base 1 unit ना हो and perpendicular, the height be 1 unit now. So in order to do that, simply you take this as 1 unit and the base, right? And here you have to draw how much? You have to draw a 90-degree line, right? So 90-degree line you have to draw here. Now you have to draw a 90-degree here. Okay. So after drawing a 90-degree using your protractor here at the first unit रे 90-degree draw करियो protractor use करिकी, and again protractor use करला परे exactly measure 1 unit from here, and using your rounder or compass, whatever you say, you draw an arc of 1 unit here, exactly 1 unit, right? Simply 1 unit you draw kariya. So from here to here 1 unit, exactly same 1 unit should be drawn here, and then you connect the lines, right? Sorry, you connect the lines, right? The points, and then as we know, here we have 1 unit, right? Here we have 1 unit, and also here we have 1 unit, and this is the 90-degree. As we know that this is a right triangle, it has a right triangle, and if this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit, then we would have the hypotenuse as √2 unit, right? And how to represent this distance on the number line? Let's have it. Use your compass use kariyo. Exactly put the needle of the compass here and put the pencil here. You mark the arc here, say arc ta ko measure kariyo, and then you draw the arc, extend the arc towards the number line. Then you have here and here, exactly at this point you have the √2 unit, right? So you name it as A, and this is B, right? And therefore put therefore AB, the distance AB or the length of AB is basically the √2 unit. Clear? So now I'm revising it. Author Koji, exactly draw the number line here and mark 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, exactly by using a scale or your rounder, and then take 1 unit as the base, and at the very point of 1 unit 90-degree draw kariya, right? You draw an altitude, draw a perpendicular distance, and then measure the 1 unit here and put your mark here and draw an arc of 1 unit upon the perpendicular distance upare 1 unit draw kar dabo, right? And after drawing that, connect these 2 points, ye dita points ko connect kar dabo, then you would have √2 unit. The hypotenuse, this distance is √2 unit, and केमती number line रे represent करिया. So this is not on the number line, it the number line उपरे नाही. So आमे simply you measure the distance of this hypotenuse and you extend the arc like this towards the number line, and the point you meet, right? The point at which you meet the number line, you mark it as some certain letter, and you mark the origin 0 as certain letter, and you would have a distance AB, and that distance will be √2 unit. I hope you understand it well, or else if you have any kind of doubts in this number, then you can comment below in the comment section. Now the next example is about representing √3 on the number line, right? So in order to represent √3 on the number line, the same things to be followed, same rules or same processes we are going to repeat here. That initially same processes are going to be repeated. So basically first we need to understand that in order to have √3 as the length of the hypotenuse or the distance, right? √3 can be represented as either you take √2 as the base and 1 unit as the perpendicular, or vice versa. तमे base को √2 नहीं की perpendicular को 1 unit नेले, you can have the hypotenuse as here hypotenuse would be equal to √2 square base square plus the perpendicular square root over. This will be √2 square is 2 and 1 square is 1. This will be √3 units. So in order to understand, हमको इटा बुझिया को हेले base को either you take it the base as √2 unit and perpendicular as 1 unit, or vice versa. root 2 को perpendicular and 1 को base नहीं जो so easy हवा हमको first root 2 टा construct करिया को पड़ेगा so in order to represent root 3 on the number line we have to draw the root 2 first so root 2 को draw करिया के लिए exactly same things follow करिया that 90 degree draw कर दवा 90 degree draw कला पोरे after drawing 90 degree here you mark it as 1 unit it measure करे 1 unit it 1 unit measure कला then you connect the distance the points here connect कर दला and this will be known as 1 unit this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit right and this will be root 2 unit and the same things to be followed measure करियो a distance right अच्छा this is point A point A रू a distance को measure करियो measure करके exactly arc टा को extend कर दो extend करला पर you get a point here this will be point B right and as we know the distance from A to B this is root 2 unit this is root 2 unit and you can certainly draw another 90 degree here on point B right another 90 degree using a protractor measure करके तब एमती root 2 unit 8 है ला so point B रे because AB is root 2 unit here AB is root 2 unit and from B you exactly construct 1 unit you measure 1 unit from here so B रे 90 degree draw कर दवा and again you draw 1 unit here right and from the point A you join the lines up to this right here and name it as C or D whatever you want in order to have that concept right so A to this point को join कर दवा and after joining these points together you got another line and from here we can understand this is the distance from A to B is root 2 unit and from B to you assume that this is as C so B to C is 1 unit right and this would certainly AC will be root 3 unit and we have to mark here so put your pointer put the nib the point of the rounder here on the A pointer देगी तापरे and you extend the same arc here right you extend the arc here up to the number line right and name it as D right you got here what did we get here now AB is root 2 unit and BC is 1 unit and certainly therefore the distance AD is equal to root 3 unit right this is the representation of root 2 along with root 3 on the number line right along with this I am giving you the idea of how to represent root 5 root 7 on the number lines let's have them in order to represent root 5 on the number line root 5 on the number line we need to understand that you have to take the base as 2 unit this the base will be 2 unit right and this is the hypotenuse or the perpendicular would be 1 unit and certainly after doing or taking this we can have the hypotenuse as 2 this is how h is equal hypotenuse will be 2 square plus 1 square root over this is 4 plus 1 under root 4 plus 1 this is root 5 so by taking the base as 2 unit and perpendicular as 1 unit we can get the hypotenuse as root 5 unit so basically you draw the same thing right you put a number line here and put 0 1 and 2 no need of taking any other number extension is not needed here so by taking the base as 2 unit you construct a 90 degree here and this right after constructing a 90 degree you can take the perpendicular as exactly 1 unit right this is 1 unit and then join these two lines join these 2 points from this point to this point you join these 2 points together and you can have certainly this as root 5 unit right and you extend the arc right let's mark it this is A this is B and you mark this with your rounder compass रे एमती नीव रखा A रे and B को एमती करे extend kar the arc taku up to the number line and name it as AC. Therefore AC is equal to root 5 unit, right? Done. Let's have root 7 on the number line, right? Root 7 on the number line, right? You draw it. So in order to represent root 7 on the number line, we need to have what? The base. You can take the base and perpendicular as this. You can take the base as what? You can take the base as root 3 unit, right? This as root 3 unit and this as 2 unit, right? Then the hypotenuse would be how much? Root 7 unit. How to find this? Let's have it. Let's find it out. If h is equal to, sorry, if the base is root 3, then you have root 3 square plus, if the perpendicular is 2, then 2 square root. This is root 3 square is root 3 square is only 3 plus 2 square is 4. Then you have root 7 unit as the hypotenuse. So usually if we want to represent root 7 on the number line, first of all we need to have the root 3. In order to have root 3, we first need to represent root 2 on the number line. Assume that this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, 3, right? And first of all you represent the root 2 on the number line. You take it as 1 unit, then this will be root 2 unit. This is root 2 and root 2, extend this is the root 2 unit, this distance is root 2 unit, and you construct another perpendicular distance here and mark 1 unit here. Then certainly you join these, this is root 3 unit, right? And extend up to this, right? So AB, name it as AB. So we got that AB is this root 3 unit, right? AB is this root 3 unit, and certainly you construct another 90 degree here, right, on point B. And as we know, हमको कितने नंबर अच्छी 2 unit नंबर अच्छी, so exactly 2 unit it is, right? And don't get confused here. So point A ru ये जो above here जो point आज ताको एमती distance ये जो दीटा point को join कर दो, right? अच्छा, after joining this you name it as let's say A, you name it as B, right? So AB distance how चिकना this distance is usually from A to this distance is root 3 unit and this is 2 units, right? So certainly AB will be root 7, this will be root 7 unit, and you extend your arc up to the number line and the point which the arc meets you name it as C, right? Therefore AC represents root 7 unit on the number line, right? Is it clear or not? Okay, so let's wind it up here, and in the next video we will be having the real numbers and the decimal expansions and exact idea about the irrational numbers, right? So along with this, let's wind up this video. If you have any doubts followed up these lessons, you can comment in the comment section and let me know the doubts.